Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and welcome to the start of a new long campaign. After many attempts and many failures at trying to do the US campaign justice, and the AI being less than ideal, and the game deciding it wants to restart our campaign over and over again, and just all kinds of things, I figure we mix it up a little bit. We'll come back to the US, and we'll do that at a later date when things are a little bit more stable and everything. For now, I have an idea. And that idea is to do hard difficulty. Actually, I still want to try legendary difficulty, even though I think legendary just makes it even harder to hit things rather than actually making the thing more difficult. I still think that I want to do legendary difficulty. So we're going to do that. We're going to be starting in 1890. I know. It's a bit old, I get it, but I want to do the whole campaign. I want to take us from way back when all the way through. And if the game lets us do this, then I think we'll be okay. So we're going to be the Italians. Now, the Italians are an interesting choice here, especially on legendary difficulty, because I don't know if you guys have a map, but we're kind of right in the middle of everything, which is not ideal. Or is it? It's not the largest nation in the world. It's not going to have a huge GDP, so we're going to have to balance what we decide to use. And we're going to have a smaller navy. So that means we're going to have better quality on everything. So we're going to have to really pay attention to our designs and try to design things that are going to work. This is something that we didn't really do very well in the American campaign that we just wrapped up on Sunday. But there's been some updates, and one of the updates was that they've fixed some of the aiming issues, supposedly. There's quite a few changes, actually, but we're going to try to get into this. We're going to try to make something happen, and we're going to try to rebuild the Roman Empire from the ground up. Starting with the Navy, of course, and see if we can't conquer the world, one little chunk at a time. So let's look at the backstory. The Italian Empire has been formed quite recently after the complete unification of the Italian states in 1871. The Italian kingdom can barely be called an empire, since besides the territories of the Italian peninsula, she possesses only a few colonies in East Africa. Italy arrived late in the colonial race of the past decades, but has the potential to become a bigger overseas power. Under the shadow of the declining Ottoman Empire, and quickly extend its borders in North and East Africa. Italy, though, is geographically situated in a strategic position that could quickly involve her in conflicts with other major powers. Thus, choosing the right ally from the start will greatly determine Italy's future. Now, settings, of course, we're going to be starting in 1890. We're going to be on legendary difficulty. We've got historical AI opponents, which we'll see how that works out. We're going to be creating our own fleet, as always, and we have the AI shared designs off because we don't actually have any shared designs, so it doesn't do us any good to have this on anyway. That's a new feature that we should probably start looking into potentially using. But, for now, we don't have it. So, let's start the campaign. We're going to be saving in slot 1. Let's go. Who we got in chat? We got Dakota, we got Haas, we got Clouds, we got No Name, we got Parker, Mind Warp, Jacob, Gabby, Cisco, Yup, Scott, Lances, Scott, I already said that, Haas already said, Lances, King Swag in the chat, what up? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. We're going to have a good time. You guys know the deal. Let's resurrect the Roman Empire. That's right. It's going to be fun, I think. We haven't actually played with a small nation in a campaign yet. We've played with Britain, we've played with Germany, we've played with US, we've played with Japan. We've played with all these guys. Actually, have we played with Japan in a campaign? I don't think we have. There's a lot of nations we have not played with yet. But there are still a lot of nations that we have yet, or that I do want to play. But I think Italy poses a unique challenge, given its geographic location. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, the storyline is great, right? Like, Lances, you know I love some good old-fashioned lore. I went into Mid-Journey. I created a pretty awesome-looking thumbnail. So, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty freaking good. Not going to lie. What up, King Cold? How's it going? Patrick, good to see you. Baron Von Nuked, welcome to the stream. Amy Weezy, how's it going? So, Mussolini or Caesar? Uh, technically, I guess it would be more towards the Mussolini side, but it's going to be kind of a fantasy version where we're kind of having Caesar. You know, it's going to be the Roman Empire essentially. So we're going to have old school. But of course, remember, I am just an admiral. Okay? I don't get to control the government. I can tell them, I can give them advice, but I can't make them do what I want them to do at all times. So we're going to have to just try to poke them in the right direction. You know, just kind of stick them here and there and try to lead them in the right direction and see if we can't make this thing a reality. I think we can. I really do. Shared Design's actually it's actually a pool of ships that you created that allows the AI to use those ship designs if they have the tech available for those nations. So you could theoretically you could go out and design a whole bunch of ships at different tech values and stuff like that, and the AI could use those ships in the campaigns as you go up against them. I know Stealth has recently started a campaign again on UAD, so it's good to see him back. But he's doing that where he's got a whole bunch of people that submitted designs for his fleet, as well as potentially, ships that might pop up if they have different nations and stuff. So it's an awesome feature, but it's not without bugs, I'm sure. And I can't wait to see some of the bugs that he runs into with that. What up, Dark? How's it going? Good to see you. What up, Stung? Good to see you as well. Yeah, that'll do it for sure. Name a ship Mario? See, that's the fun of this series. So, as you guys know, this is the most interactive series on the channel, bar none. You guys get to jump in, you guys get to offer names, you get to be part of the series from the get-go, help influence designs one way or the other. Like, you guys get to be a part of this series. And that's why I love this series so much, despite the frustration of the game at times, with all the bugs. It is a lot of fun to involve you guys in every step of the way and get some, constructive criticism along the way, as well as some other good things. But as always, we got to start at the beginning, so we got to create our own fleet. But before we do that, let's check out our finances. Now, obviously, we are not going to have a huge budget. Y'all know this. Tech budget is something that I am a huge proponent of, so we got to get that going. And crew training is something we got to get a huge bonus in. Transport capacity we're going to hold off on for now. Now, obviously, this leaves us a surplus of $13 million. Our naval funds are currently only $72 million. So that's not a lot of money, which means we got to be smart with our shipbuilding and try to do our best. We are also going to be increasing the size of our naval ports because, yes, this influences so much. And we do not have much shipbuilding capacity. That's the other thing. So we got to make sure that we build good designs early that are going to carry us through for a very long time, because we're not going to be able to build gigantic fleets all at once like we did with the U.S. We have quite a lot less shipbuilding capacity than we did with the U.S. So it's going to be interesting. All right, so let's check out our research. What is the things that we want to set up right off the bat? Well, you guys know me. I like to go for rangefinders because we need to be able to hit the target. Hull strengthening is a big one. And control stations. Those three things can carry you through. And the reason being is you can build bigger ships, bigger battleships in specific. So bigger battleships, you can hit the targets before they hit you, which is always a plus. And you have the fire control that allows you to, A, reach out and touch the enemy before they can see you, but also allows you to spot torpedoes from further away. These three categories are the biggest, in my opinion, influence throughout the campaign. Yes, everything else comes in handy, but you can work around everything else. These three things are basically like guaranteed. These are defaults. So we're going to start by increasing our rangefinder ability. We're going to look at voice tubes, huh? Yeah, that increases gun base aiming speed and all that. We'll speed that up as well. That gets done in 2 months. And then, of course, we have the 19th century warships. The ironclad era is superseded by a new class of warships. The latest developments bring new standards for battleships, armored cruisers, light cruisers, and torpedo boats. So, yeah, this is just the starting tech. So we will be going with new structural steel coming up, which allows us to build the Battleship 3 hull, which is going to be a big deal. But that is finished in 2 months, and we have to build a fleet now. So, with that being said, let's check on what we got here. Secondary turrets on light cruisers. Actually, that would be a big deal too if we could do it. So, at some point, we got to try to get that. But that'll finish in 5 months as is, so we don't need to rush that. We can't do anything with it anyway. This comes up next month, which is gun cotton, so that's always going to be a big deal as well. So we're definitely going to have some modernizations pretty early on that are going to help our Navy, hopefully. But for now, it's time to design some ships. Let's get right into it. Fiamma Eterna? Loosely translated as Eternal Flame. Okay. I like it, actually. The olive oil class. I like how you guys are already jumping in. I love this, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I love this series so much. Despite the frustrations that you run into during the campaign with all the torpedo spam and all that, like, you guys make these campaigns so much more enjoyable. But we're going to jump right in. What up, DJ? How's it going? Clapping them cheeks. How's it going? Hiccup in the chat. What up? All right, let's get started. So first thing, we do not have the ability to build battleships right away. That's not ideal. We don't even get like the coastal defense battleship that the US got. So we have to rely heavily on cruisers and torpedo boats early in the campaign. And you guys know my thoughts on the torpedo boats early. They are absolutely trash. So it's going to be light cruisers and heavy cruisers that carry the bulk of the force through the beginning of this campaign. So, with that being said, let's come up with a design. Now, we have always struggled with building a decent early heavy cruiser. We just have. We have struggled mightily at building a decent early heavy cruiser. So let's see what we can get into. Let's just start with 19 knots because 19.5 is a bit much for a heavy cruiser at this time. We got to max out the range because we need as much range as possible when we're running on coal. We're going to have terrible engine efficiency. But we're going to try to change some things that maybe will make this a little bit better than past designs. So standard crew quarters is fine. We shouldn't have any options here available just yet. I mean, everything should be... We do have compound armor, which is going to cost more money, but does give us a 35% armor boost. So we'll definitely take that. Everything else, we do have Citadel 1 available as well, so we'll go with that. So for main tower, obviously, we've got to look at weight as well as the accuracy and so on and so forth. So base accuracy of +2 versus base accuracy of +1. I mean, this is just better all the way across. So front tower 2 is going to be better. The only difference is it's 12 tons heavier. But we can try to adjust that if we can. So we're going to have this tower be as far forward as possible. Okay. And then for a secondary tower, we're also going to take the rear tower too because it's going to give us the best bonuses. We get a little +1 bonus to the aiming speed and get a +1 bonus to damage control. Slightly better tower spotting and better torpedo spotting. So yeah, rear tower 2 is definitely going to be the better bet. Now, can we put this... We can. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Spartan, well, it should go back here. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I've had issues. Corey Pine, welcome to the Spartiates, my dude. Thank you for becoming the newest member on the channel. Just bear with me for a second. Let's put that there. Okay. I know it's unconventional. Let's put that there and see what we can get away with in terms of funnels. Because normally, we have to put the funnel here, right? Can we put the funnel back here? It's not looking like it's going to work out. God, I was really hoping we could put a funnel back here. We get away with a larger funnel. But Apparently not. Apparently not. We're going to have to put this back here at the back then. All right, let's put this as far back as we can possibly get it. See, the funnels early in the game, you just don't have enough room on these ships because the ships are pretty small. And you have yeah, see what I mean? You literally can't put anything in here. You get a little bit more out of this one, but you can't use these. So it looks like +6 capacity versus +5.5. This is 58 tons, this is 67 tons. So is an extra 0.5 funnel capacity worth it when you're giving up another several tons? I mean, I think it is. But look at our engine efficiency. Our engine efficiency is awful. It's awful. And there's nothing really that we can do about that. Now, the other thing that we could potentially try would be to see if we could put the funnel at the back, which we can. We can absolutely do that. Haas coming in, re-upping his membership for 4 months as well. Thank you, Haas. Dr. Bubba, how's it going? Appreciate you dropping in. Test as well. Do you like War Thunder? It's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. So we could actually put an intake or a funnel back here at the back, which would give us an extra 6.5 funnel capacity. We could also put this back here. Which is not much. Let's be honest, it's not. But let's see what we can get away with in terms of... I know we can't use barbettes yet, unfortunately. So what do we got for main guns? Now, obviously, everybody would want to go with, like, it's a heavy cruiser, right? It should have at least 8-inch guns. But look at the weights of these guns. Okay, 170 tons for this turret. I mean, look at the size of it versus the ship. Like, that is a massive gun turret for this ship. Plus, double barrel tech is actually a disadvantage early on. So, do we maybe go with a little bit lower caliber early in the game? What is our accuracy? At 1,000 meters, it's 8.1% versus 8-inch guns, which have a 9.1%. So they're not that much more accurate. These have a 49.2 reload. These have a 33-second reload. But these actually look like they would be more suited to a ship of this size. So while it is technically a heavy cruiser class, it's not really going to be a heavy cruiser by, you know, designation, or it wouldn't be technically a heavy cruiser. It'd be an armored light cruiser, if anything. How can we do this? What if we do something like this? That gets us 2... Oh, they can't rotate. They're egg-shaped. They're not circles. They're like egg-shaped. Well, shoot. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, there we go. If we mount them a little bit further back, that gives them good firing angles. Fair enough. Now, we actually have an aft weight offset right now, which is perfect. I'm not super worried about having guns back here so much because we're going to be able to have casemates, obviously. So we're going to be using the 4-inch casemates. Okay. So that gives us some casemates. We also should be able to put 3-inch casemates. I lied. 2-inch casemates? Okay, those apparently don't work as casemates. Okay. Fair enough. Whatever. Yeah, it's got no mounts. Interesting. Okay, well, secondaries. What about some 4-inch secondaries? So yeah, we could put 4-inch guns back here. That gives us a little bit of a defense over the rear. And then can't quite move a 4-inch over the rear further. We do have the casemates, though, and the casemates are 4-inch 35s, whereas these are actually 4-inch 30s. We definitely need barbette armor, so let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get a 6-inch gun there for sure. That was a thought. And I'm fairly confident, given the size of these turrets, that we wouldn't be able to get the 6-inch guns here either, right? Like if we went with a main gun, side gun, 6-inch, even a single barrel, can we get... I mean, technically, yes, we could, but they're not going to be able to fire over the sides. And then the doubles, while they would still fit, again, they're not going to be able to fire over the sides. They're only going to be able to fire over the rear. And I think that would actually be worse than just having a 4-inch secondary gun that can fully rotate. And we could probably put a couple of these here. Now, obviously, this one is going to be obstructed by this one, but that gives us a little bit more firepower over the rear of the ship. Or at least the side rears. And potentially... yeah, this gun here should be able to help fire at some targets up in this direction as well. But obviously, with all of our firepower at the front like this, this is going to give us an advantage of being able to stay bow in. So that's going to be a big deal. Be able to keep people at bay, hopefully. What else can we do? So secondary should be firing base fuse HE, which is fine. We should be built for standard ratio, maximum HE shells. And then we're stuck with that for now. We've got hydraulic turrets, and we can go enhanced reloading, which should help us actually quite a bit with these. So these will reload in 9.3 seconds, whereas these will reload in 29 seconds now. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So that gives us 4 main guns over the bow. These can still rotate pretty much all the way to the side as well. And that should give us decent firing angles off either side of the ship with decent firepower. Fair enough. Okay, what about torpedo launchers? So we could go with underwater torpedo launchers. And I don't think that it would be a bad idea. We also have an aft weight offset. So maybe we put a single torpedo launcher underwater in the front. What's that do for us? It helps a little bit with the weight offset. They're only 15-inch torpedoes, though. They're going to be pretty terrible. But that gives us a chase, a chase sort of torpedo situation. So we should be able to, as we're pointing the nose towards the enemy, launch a torpedo once we're within range, which, let's be honest, torpedo range at the beginning of the game is going to be terrible. Do we put torpedoes here and here too? Now the ship's overweight. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Never mind. Scrap that idea. Plus, we don't want to be broadside anyway if we can avoid it. Okay, so the good news is, with the current, like the default armor, we're still underweight. We haven't changed anything down here yet either. So I think we just leave this as is for now. We add a little bit of superstructure armor, if we can get away with it. And that's going to be our first design for our heavy cruiser. So what do you guys think? Have a good night, Lances. Appreciate you, my dude. Jux, I appreciate you, man. Welcome to the stream. Birdman, I don't know if I called you out or not, but welcome. Ender, I see you as well. I'm not sure in terms of World of Warships what we want to do. I have been enjoying it, but again, like, my ability to stream and record games at high quality on PC right now is limited by my computer. So, Not sure exactly what I can get away with there. What up, Brooks? Appreciate you dropping in as well. K3, welcome to the stream. There we go. Nightshade, how's it going? All right, so I like the idea of like the eternal flame. I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty clean. Yeah, and if you guys are enjoying, please punch that like button. It does help the channel quite a bit. Okay, let's go with that then. Also, is it glitching out for you guys? Like, is it frame droppy or anything like that? Doesn't show that it is or anything, but I just want to double check. The Gladius, yeah, that's there's gonna be a lot of Roman themes for ships, I'm sure. There we go. Fiamma Eterna class. Let's go. Okay. Now we got to keep our budget in mind. Seems okay. Okay. So it was probably just my preview of the stream that was all like funky. That's why I always pause it, because it always looks terrible. Okay, so these are $3 million a piece. We do not have a huge budget. All right, so a new design. We're going to design our light cruisers now. We've got, of course, this light cruiser hull, and we have the torpedo cruiser hull. This can be built to 2,000. This can be built to 3,500, but we have a maximum displacement of 3,000 tons. What if we go with two variations of light cruisers? Let's go one that's like solely like gunboat oriented, and then I don't know. I think we stick with one. Vesuvio though? Damn. I like that. That's actually I like that a lot actually. If you guys know the story of Mount Vesuvius and, you know, the city of Pompeii, you'll know why that's like a perfect name for a light cruiser. Anyway, let's get back to the compound. We got Citadel 1, please. Main tower is going to be front tower 1. Let's actually just try to go back here. Secondary tower, rear tower 2 we can get away with. God, we can't put that anywhere in here, really? We can put it here. It's weird. Okay, so we'll put that there for now. It gives us quite a bit of room here at the front and the rear. I kind of wish that we could put this like right here. So we need this room in the center for funnels for sure. Well, let's just see what we got first. So, first of all, what is our speed? 20.5 knots. If we go 21 knots. And then we max out our range, preferably. Let's see what we can do for main guns. Obviously, we can't use barbettes, But for main guns, we could go 4-inch guns, which are 4-inch 30 caliber guns that reload in 10.4 seconds. Or we could go with the 5-inch guns, which are 30 caliber. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be much of a difference between the 4-inch and a 5-inch gun early on in terms of effectiveness. 17 versus 10. So these are going to reload quite a bit faster. They're going to be roughly as accurate. It's going to be very similar. So I think we go with the 4-inch. I think we do. So let's throw the 4-inch guns there. Let's throw 4-inch guns there. Just as a start. Okay. Our roll angle is still really, really bad. Let's look at funnels. What do we got for funnels? 64 tons versus 70 tons, plus 7 versus plus 6. So we want to try to use these if we can. And if we move this forward a little bit. We can get one there. Still only 38% engine efficiency, though. Which is not ideal. What if we move this back? If we put that back, and then take the 4-inch gun again, and instead of having them here, we have them like there. They're still going to be able to cover quite a bit. That gets that back, which should allow us a third funnel. Engine efficiency still not great. We have a slight aft weight offset, but it's very minimal. And we have quite a bit of room for armor at the moment. So let's look at casemates. We can put some 3-inch casemates in here. And then we can't use secondary guns, unfortunately. But can we put any 4-inch? We could put 4-inch guns here and here. So that gives us quite a bit of firepower on these light cruisers. I'm worried about our roll, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about it, unfortunately. Okay, so we don't have any barbette armor that we can use. Can go with enhanced reloading. That's going to give us a little bit more weight. We are built for maximum HE shells. We do carry some AP. And we only have base fuse, so we can't do anything there. Okay. So with the armor as is, we're fine. But we can add quite a bit of armor on these. What if we go with like a 6-inch main belt? That's way too much. Okay. Okay, so what about a 4-inch main belt? And then we take this up to 2 inches. Okay. All right. That gets us as close as we can. It's a triple stacker. Gives us decent armor for a light cruiser, especially early on. We have like no engine efficiency, but then again, we're kind of like right where we need to be in terms of like how much range we need. We don't need a super crazy amount of range, even though we do have 10,000 kilometers of range. So I think we're going to be okay on that side of things. The thing that worries me is the pitch and the roll, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. These just aren't very great in terms of their ability. What if we go 20? That shaves off quite a bit. That gives us a lot more engine efficiency, which gives us more range, which we could potentially drop down to save even more range. Or save even more weight. So if we go with that, I know we can only create a ship that's 3,000 tons currently. Okay, what about 20? If we go to 21 again, that gives us 9,050. Still 1.7 million. What up, Patrick? How's it going? Jesse Mason, how's it going? All right. I think this is going to have to do for our first light cruiser design. 4-inch guns everywhere. Plenty of them. 21 knots of speed. Decent armor. We actually have enough room to make even more armor. So actually, come to think of it, let's go ahead and do that. Take this to 2. All right. There we go. A little bit more armor. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I think that'll do. What you got for a class name, guys? I like Vesuvio, to be honest. I think we'll keep it. I think we'll keep Vesuvio for this one, to be honest. I like that one. The American campaign ended on Sunday night stream. If you guys didn't see that, the game freaked out and caused me to go bankrupt in like 3 turns. So unfortunately, that ended the campaign. But yeah. So supposedly they've updated the game since then, and that issue has been resolved. But until we know for sure, I'm gonna. Oh my God, Bretta has come in and gifted 20 memberships to everybody. Good Lord, appreciate you, Bretta, coming in just dropping all the bombs. Y'all know the deal. That's gonna cause a whole lot of sounds, if I had to guess. But thank you, Bretta. Appreciate you. Welcome to the stream as well. Blaine, how's it going? If you guys are enjoying the stream, punch that like button. I know it takes a while to set this up to begin with. All right, let's look at our finances again. So, $9.7 million in surplus currently. We have $72 million in naval funds. Jonah Sharp, welcome to the Spartiates as well. Appreciate you, my guy. We get some goats in the chat. Yeah, you guys already know. Y'all already know the deal. I ain't even got to say it. Ain't even got to say it. Y'all already know the deal. All right, so ship design, $3 million apiece, $1.7 million apiece, $72 million. All right, so we are going to build $3 million apiece. If we build 8 of these, that's $24 million of our budget gone. So let's go ahead and do that. I do apologize for the noise, guys. That is one thing I cannot turn off, unfortunately. But I do appreciate Beretta coming in and dropping a 20 gifted memberships bomb on everybody. Yeah, Scott, the game definitely fucked us again. Looks like we got quite a few ports to choose from here, so that's a good thing. So let's go with La Spezia for the first two. We'll go with... See, that was northwest Italy. So let's go with... Ancona. Gotta have Naples in there. And Messina. Alright. So that's our heavy cruisers. How much is our finances currently? Still at plus 7.3 million per turn, so that's good. Naval funds, still holding. And for light cruisers, how many light cruisers should we have per group? If we've got 4 groups of heavy cruisers, so build this would give us 2 light cruisers for every heavy cruiser. $28 million. So that would be 4 per, which I think is fair. Jonah Sharp with $2. Hey, Spartan, I would pro with some time on ships. I'm assuming you would like to div up. What up, Christopher Hill as well? F.A. Wolf, good to see you. Appreciate everybody dropping in. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you punch that like button. All right, so we've got 4 of these guys going to be at La Spezia. 4 of these guys are going to be Ancona. 4 of these guys at Naples. And 4 of them at Messina. All right. Now, anybody that would like to have a heavy or light cruiser named after him, now is your chance. We have a few heavy cruisers and a whole bunch of light cruisers that can be named. So, what you guys got? Give you guys a chance to catch up. I know there's a bit of a delay. I do apologize. I forgot to set the stream settings back to ultra low latency. Actually, give me just a